Welcome back to another episode of the UK Journeyman here in Football Manager 2026. We have our last two games of the season in the Cymru North, and as you can see, we are still within a shout of promotion. Things have been going well, but not too well since we last left off. As you can see, lots of wins, a couple draws, a big 4-0 loss away to Llandudno. Llandudno? I don't know how you say Welsh stuff. Can barely speak English, but as you can see, we've been winning plenty of games, scoring plenty of goals, but there's been a few games where we have conceded quite a few as well, but we are scoring plenty of goals. Chris Ford has been the main man to be banging them in, really. If we can look at his stats, as you can see, 21 in 18. He has definitely been the main man since we took over. But we have got a bit of business to cover. So we've got two games today, last two games of the season, Buckley Town away and then Holywell Town at home to finish off. As you can see, just 4 points separate us in 7th and 3rd, which is a automatic promotion spot this year. But as you can see, there's also quite a few teams in between. So whether we can do enough, we'd obviously have to probably win both games just to be within a shout to get to 50 points, and then hope that the other four sides also drop points within that time period. There's a lot of permutations. We'll kind of see where we go into it in the last game of the season, but as long as we win, I guess we're still technically within a shout. We've got a decent goal difference on Newtown, so if we can actually get to them, then there's every chance. But yeah, it's still to play for, but it's going to be close. But a few business things to talk about, or at least a few transfer things to talk about. So numerous players have left the club. If we go, I keep forgetting where it is. Where is it? Transfer history. There it is. More players have left the club, as you can see. If I go to more recent, yeah, lots of just players you probably don't even know have left the club. But we have brought a few in as well. So if I just go to the squad, it'll be easier for me to remember. So first one in the door is Jason Parsons. He was a 16-year-old goalkeeper. I don't know why he was available. He just was. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, and we've signed him on a youth contract as well. So he's going to be on a non-contract once the youth contract runs out, but for now we're paying him £5 a week and he's our new starting goalkeeper, and he's been very, very serviceable. Our right back, obviously the loan finished, as did the centre back, so we've pushed Hand back into centre back. Played Tom Williams at right back. He's not very good. He's going to go at the end of the season, so we'll definitely need a new right back next year. Chris Owens has also signed in on a deal till the end of the season. He was kind of just average. We needed a left back, so he joined on a £60 a week deal till the end of the season. He's been average. We've pretty much got deals for everyone next season, so our goalkeeper obviously will kick in once his youth contract is done. He'll just be on a non-contract. Norman, Hand are both tied down for next year. Bolden, we've got on a new deal. We've just offered a new deal to Seri Davies, so he's no longer on his youth contract. He's on a full contract, but he'll be signing a new deal very soon. Danny Jones, we've literally just before this game managed to agree a new deal for him, so he'll be signing on. McCoulion, Brendan Smith and Ford are all tied down to next season as well. And a couple of youth players came in. So Oliver Jones-Price came in this academy's bunch. He's a 3-star current ability, 5-star goalkeeper. Very nice to have. Of course, if Jason ever goes, if Parsons ever goes, then we've obviously got a decent backup to come in. Another one in the youth setup, Mila Davies, 16-year-old Welsh centre-back, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Good little rotation option if we need it. And the last one that joined us from the youth setup was Wayne O'Sullivan, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential striker, can also play on the right. We also signed a player on loan, Cian Foreman, on loan from my club, Hartlepool, 18 years of age. I didn't really scout him. I just thought he must be good. He's not good, but we're paying absolutely nothing, so it doesn't really matter. We've actually got him on a loan till the end of next season, but if we don't play him, they might recall him, but he's not very good. He's not scored yet or assisted, and he's not really played very well when he has played. But if we just keep him around as a squad option, it's we're not paying him anything, so it really doesn't matter. We're not paying him £400 a week. That's what Hartlepool will pay him. But everyone else is basically out of contract at the end of the year, so all of these players will be going. So we are good. For some reason, we managed. Wayne actually agreed to deal till 2030, so he's here for the long haul. This lad, he sees the vision that we've got here at BRICKFIELD Rangers. But we'll go on to the first game of this of the two, and this is the lineup we've got. We've got Parsons in goal, back four of Williams, Norman, Hand, and Owens. Bolden and Davies in midfield. Jones, McCoulion, Smith, and Ford up top. The main man Ford, 21 goals this season, 11 and goals and assists for McCoulion. Smith 9 and 9. Jones 8 and 9, and as you can see, we've got a very, very lethal front line. It's the defence that's the issue. But hopefully we can fix all that in the season coming up, whether that's going to be in this league or the league above. Hopefully the league above. Hopefully we can win both of our games here. Let's remind the players of that. Give them even more things to be nervous about pre-game. Hopefully we can, like I say, keep things going, get the win, and just get us in contention on the final day. That's the main thing, really, is that we just at least be within shout of promotion. Whether we can achieve it or not is a different kettle of fish. But I don't think these are in the running for it anyway, so I don't think it matters. I think both of the teams we're playing aren't any teams above us, so we don't directly leapfrog them if we beat them, which is a bit of a shame. You'd actually rather play the teams in and around you to at least make sure they drop points if you do win. But nevertheless, it's not been a great start. We've had games like this, though, where nothing seems to happen, and then we get one goal, and then we just start to score a few, so I'm not too worried. I do think the system we've got's fine. I think the players we've got now are mostly fine. I think we've got a few problem areas we need to address in the transfer window, so that'll be next episode. Will be our first proper transfer window anyway, and obviously new season with the club. Obviously that just depends on whether we get a new contract. Nothing has been offered just of yet, but obviously our goal was to avoid relegation. That's what the board wanted, with us rock bottom 1 win in 10. Obviously we're in shout of promotion, so we've massively turned that around. Very boring half. Bet you're glad we've come back for this game. Of all the goals we've been scoring, not really anything going on right now, but nevertheless, we'll just tell the boys we've been unhappy with that, and hopefully we can start to see something a bit more, at least a couple highlights in the second half. But we do need a goal. We do need a goal, and we do need one to put us back up to within a shout at least of promotion. But it's not looking likely. There's a lot of things got to go our way. But at least if we win this game, we'll still be within a shout on the final day. That's all that matters. And that's poor from Bolden. We have tied down Bolden and Davies onto deals till next season. They're only on cheap contracts. It was basically just a case of, I don't think they'll be starting next season. Hopefully we'll be able to replace them. But if we do struggle to sign someone, at least we know they're serviceable in the middle. They're definitely not the best 2 centre mids, but like I say, if we can get someone else in, which hopefully we can, then that will be okay. But honestly, with the front 4 tied down, I'm probably not going to replace any of them. They've all been more than good enough to keep their spot. If we come across anyone who's unbelievable out wide or as a striker, then potentially. But honestly, Ford, he's in double. He's got 20 goals. McCoolion's been unbelievable as well. There's really no reason to change, and that was very, very close to the opener. I'm not sure what happened really. Chris Owens put it in, and it just seemed to bobble around the goal line, but unfortunately we could not convert. But yeah, there's no reason for us to change the front 4. It's not looking like a good case for it today because we've done absolutely nothing. But I don't think there's any reason for us to change the front 4. But like I say, if we come across a really good winger or a number 10 or a striker, then yes, of course we'll go in for them. But that's definitely not the areas I'll be looking into. For me, fullbacks is definitely priority number 1. A really good goalkeeper. I know that we've got 2 good young keepers, but just someone who can be a level above would definitely be ideal. And we're still letting in some sloppy goals, but I think that's pretty much par for the course for whatever keeper we get at this level. Centre backs, I'm okay with Hand and Norman. If we can improve on them, great. But for me, it's probably the 2 fullbacks and the 2 centre mid positions. I think that's the massive key areas. If we can get very good players in those positions, I think we'll be within a shout of winning the league next year. I think that's got to be the goal next season. Given how well we've done since we've come in, how well we've turned the ship around and went from a team rock bottom to a team looking to finish in a promotion spot, or at least challenging for it. With our form, I think on second half of the season, we're probably second or first in the table. It's just we were in such a bad starting position. We've really not made anything of it. 10 minutes to go. We've really not done much with the chances we've got. We're going to bring Wayne on. Why not? He can come on. He can play on the right, so we'll bring him on the right because Danny Jones is looking a bit tired. We'll leave the rest out there. You know what? We'll chuck Davies on at right back as well. Why not? Give him his debut. Sullivan did come on actually in the last game, but he didn't score in his 10-minute cameo. Hopefully he can do something today. I have delegated set pieces to the assistant manager or the coach or whatever it is, because we just haven't been scoring at all from set pieces. So I'm hoping that by delegating it, we can get something more out of it. But I think that pretty much, that wraps us up. And I think that pretty much confirms we won't be getting promotion. So we will still play the last game just to play 2 games in the episode. But that is definitely disappointing. I didn't do my team talk there. That was a mistake. 5 points away. Yeah, there's no way now. So mathematically we can't. Mathematically we can't get promotion. It probably wasn't on the cards anyway, but there you go. So we will play our last game against Holywell Town. Actually got quite a bit of continue to do. If anything happens in between then, we'll have a look. In terms of moving, I think honestly, I mean, we're still early days here at the club. We've done the job, and I think there's not really anything that's sprung up anyway. Personally, I'd like to get a qualification done as well at this club. But other than that, I think, I mean, if we can just build on the work we've done here, I think that would be ideal. But let's go hit continue and play our second game of the season, or last game. Second game of the episode, last game of the season. So for our second and last game of the episode, our last game of the season, we are at home to Holywell Town. It's the same 11 as played the last match. We will continue, and we'll get our last match of the season underway. And overall, though, I think we have to say this has been a success. We've come into the club. They were obviously really, really struggling. And we've definitely turned it around. And there's still been some poor performances. There's still been some poor results along the way. But for the most part, we went from a team that won 1 in 10 to winning multiple games on the bounce. So, we've done brilliantly. We really have. The additions of Ford, and you know what? We've got like a young, good squad here. We've got most of these tied down for next season. I think, provided we get a new deal as a manager, which I think we will, I think we've got a core of a squad that can definitely win the league next year, or at least get in a promotion spot. Now, I'm not sure how exactly it's going to work next year in terms of how many spots are promotion, whether there's like a playoff or things like that. As far as I know, from what I remember, it's the top division, the Cymru. Is it Cymru? I don't know how to say it. But the top division, the Premier, is going to 16 teams and then 3 relegations. So I would assume, as Macudion gets our opener there, I would assume that means the top of the winners of North and South get promotion, and then maybe second from both go into a playoff, or maybe the top 2 from both go into a sort of a semi-final playoff and then a final. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out next season. But my goal, honestly, would be to win the league. I think we've proved that we've got enough here to win the league. And I think if we can improve on that next season by getting some fullbacks in, some really good fullbacks, some two good DMs in, and then maybe a goalkeeper, I think, and maybe another attacker to sit on the bench, or even to replace a Jones or a Smith, or even the striker, whatever it may be. But honestly, I'm happy with the front four. We've scored plenty. I don't think scoring goals is the issue, but like I say, if we can try and find someone really good, then we will. But we'll just have to see. Honestly, it's been really tough to sign players. We've been lucky that the youth was quite generous to us in terms of, that's brilliant from Ford, letting it through his legs, and that's where you want a good centre mid who can just finish that off. Now, like I say, we've tied down Davies and Bolden down for next season, but it's really just in case we can't find anyone, then at least we know they're okay. But we definitely need fullbacks. Both of those will be leaving at the end of the season. Chris Owens, for me, hasn't done enough to warrant a new deal. That's why I only offered him a deal until the end of this season. And the main thing really though is that players just expect a lot more than what we're capable of affording. Thankfully, next season, a whole load of players are going to leave, and really our budget is not spent too much on the first 11. It's just we had such a big squad. I think it was like 35, 36 players when we came in, and nearly all of them aren't good enough. There's like 3 11s there, and then most of them aren't good enough to play for this club. And this club is not at a high level, so they are really not up to it to being paid footballers. They are definitely amateur ballers in disguise. But hopefully, obviously, that'll all be shifted on 30th of June. They'll be all out the door, and that will open up our wage budget massively. I think we're on about $2,000 a week is the current bill. Not current bill, but the current budget. I think at the minute we're only spending about 1,500 or something. It's around that. We've definitely got money to spare. We just haven't been able to sign anyone. But 1-0 into the half. Again, not an astounding first half of football, but we've done enough to be ahead, which is good. Maculion, again, probably being the main man along with Ford in terms of providing the goals and assists. The wingers have definitely done their part as well. Smith and Jones have definitely come in and done a good job as well. So like I say, the front four, that doesn't really change for me. It's midfield, fullbacks, centre backs maybe. I mean, again, I'm pretty happy with Hand and Norman. I think now that Hand has moved into centre half rather than playing at left back, as predicted, he's been much better. But yeah, obviously, if we can get a whole new 11, I don't really want to do that. I think like I say, the front four more than good enough for promotion, and they're all young players as well, so they're only going to get better. It's just we've got a couple positions if we can improve on. We can win the league next year. I am sure of it. At the very least, we'll hopefully do enough to start gaining some reputation. Because at the minute, we're still showing as pending. And I don't know if that's a bug or if pending just means because I don't have any badges. I'm not suited to anything. Yeah, I don't know if keep winning games at this level is really going to improve my reputation all that much. But a promotion would definitely help with my reputation, I would hope. Hopefully it's not a bug and the pending thing is just because I have no qualifications, no nothing. But we shall see as we progress. Hopefully it's not a bug. But yeah, we'll see as we go. But yeah, I mean, we've done well this game, 1-0 so far. I think these have actually won promotion. So that just shows you that we're definitely not a level below the teams getting promoted. It's just a case. If we were here at the start of the season, I think we'd be in the top 3. It's just a case of we started with so much ground to make up that we just haven't had enough games. Like I say, if there was more games in this league, I think we'd definitely get promotion. That's poor from the goalkeeper. The strikers took a heavy touch there, and I think he should come out and collect that, and he doesn't. And I guess it's another position where if we stick with the one we've got, I'm not too unhappy about it. But if we can get a good goalkeeper in, probably someone who's not 16, then maybe we can have an even better defence. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, just looking at the ratings here, you can see the problem areas. It's fullback and it's centre mid. The Davies is probably the better of the two. So if we only get one in, then I think, yeah, keeping Davies and then chucking Bolden on the bench, not a bad move. But yeah, the last thing I want to do is just totally uproot the squad by signing a load of players. I do think the front four is good enough to win promotion at this level. It's just the defence. We score plenty. It's just keeping them out. Unfortunately, we have gone behind here, and maybe this is why they're getting promoted, and we aren't. Poor from the back line and the goalkeeper again. Could he do better? I don't know, but another highlight has started pretty quickly there. Williams loses out. Again, another problem area is the fullback. He's not very good, and we kind of knew that, though, and we were very much limited. Even the one that was on loan was not that bad, to be fair. He wasn't great, and I think hopefully we can sign someone better than that, but it'll really just depend on what's available, what's out there. I'm hoping there'll be quite a few players come up, more than there has been during the season. Obviously, contracts end in June, so we'll obviously know 1st of July round about where we are, but we won't continue after this. Next episode will be the start of the transfer window and all the stuff of end of season, start of new season stuff, so should be an exciting episode. We'll hopefully show you all the the in-betweeny bits, all the bits that are interested in trying to sign players and things like that. Always a bit of a chew on trying to edit it because there's so many different little clips. Whereas doing the game's really easy because it's just 2 games, and sometimes there's other things happen, but for the most part it's just 2 games. McCoolion plays it back to Owens. He's got a man in the middle. He finds Davies, who tries to find Ford. He is brought down though, and we have got a penalty. And Ford has a chance to get us level late on in the game. 72nd minute. It's not Chris Ford. Who is it? Is it Danny Jones? It's Danny Jones. Danny Jones steps up and he does convert 2-2 between BRICKFIELD Rangers and Holywell Town. And we potentially could get ourselves the 3 points to end the season, which would definitely at least give us a nice little end to the season. Even if promotion wasn't on the cards, I think it would solidify how good of a season we've had. I think the 33 season ticket holders here at BRICKFIELD Rangers do definitely sing Destro FM's BRICKFIELD Army in between the games, I'm sure of it, because we've definitely done a good enough job to deserve that. But McCoolion twisting and turning, and he does challenge the goalkeeper. It wasn't a great effort in the end. It was kind of straight at him, but he was twisting and turning there, and that's what he's capable of. And again, this is a young side, so yes, I think keeping them is definitely the idea, and we've tied them all down to next season. And we don't need to go out and spend £200 a week on a striker who's only just as good or if a little bit better, because these lads are going to get better. And one thing I've noticed actually in FM26 is that players, even though obviously we don't have great facilities and great coaching staff or anything like that, because they are playing, and they're young players, they're still getting better. I definitely think that in 24 at least, there was an issue where players just didn't improve if they weren't at good academies or weren't at a place with good facilities, at least good facilities. If you were at a team with poor facilities, they just didn't improve ever, or it was so slow you didn't notice it. But yeah, I've noticed Ford and McCoolion and all that, their ratings are definitely going up and their attributes are in the positive. Like a lot of times players would be doing well and they'd be going down in attributes, and it's like, well, how does that make sense? But that's one thing I would definitely say is improved in this year's Football Manager, at least from my experiences. Players in poor teams and poor leagues are still actually getting better, because that's how they would get better in real life still. Now obviously the rate of progression would be slower, but they're at this level and they're going from like bad players to slightly less bad players, so it's really not crazy. But yeah, I mean, we've got Ford, Jones, Smith, all of them are young players, really. I think Jones is probably the oldest and he's only like 20. So Ford's like 16, 17 maybe now. McCoolion's like 19. So they're definitely at that age where they're going to get better. Obviously, the youth players coming in will form some of the bench next year, but I wouldn't expect them to play any part in the starting lineup. None of them were unbelievable. Definitely the striker, the pick of the bunch. Ford with a late chance there, but to win the game, but he couldn't keep it down, unfortunately. But set pieces is definitely something hopefully we can improve on next year. We've really not done too much with them. I don't think I've seen us score a corner. But that's it, 2-2 draw to end the game. So even if we'd won the first one, yeah, we'll just say that, whatever. It's the last game of the season, doesn't matter. Even if we won the first one, it wouldn't have mattered because we didn't do it. So overall, a 7th place finish after 30 games, 46 points. I will take that. What did we have when we came in? 4 points or something from 10 games. 42 points from 20. Yeah, you pair that with I mean, that's like 42. That's like 21 points. If we keep that up, we'd have been, what? Top of the league by a mile. So I think it's a good start. Obviously, that is it for the season. If we take a look at the league table, Airbus won the league, Holywell Town and Ryle with promotion. On the final day, Gilsfield are relegated, actually equal on points with Flint Mountain as well, but goal difference has sent them down. And then what happened in the other league? In South, Aberystwyth have been promoted, as have Pontypridd and Trefferlin, and Cumbrian Celtic are relegated. In terms of the Premier, there we go. The Premier, New Saints won the league, or at least are up for it. I don't know if their season's finished, actually. But Llanelli Town are definitely getting relegated, so sad stuff for them. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll see if we get any job offers. I wouldn't think it though, because like I say, our profile hasn't really changed at all. We're still unsuited to everything. We have no reputation. Nothing seems to have changed. So hopefully we get a new deal. Our contract runs out with most of the players, but I would be happy to stay here for another season. I think we've got what it takes to get promoted. I think we've got a core of the squad that's good. A couple of the boys, of course, we need to replace. But other than that, I think we've got what it takes for promotion next season. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the UK Journeyman, and I'll see you all for tomorrow's next episode, which will be the transfer special. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all for more very soon.